doing well in terms of areas that I've mentioned. We are strengthening ourselves to basically ensure that we do deliver. You know that we are addressing a couple of years of state capture that has ravaged the performance of some of the entities. Transnet was well run, efficient, and all of that. And we know what state capture have done. We have addressed state capture. We know what state capture have told us. Who are the culprits? We no longer thumb-sucking now. We've got reports before us. We are not thumb-sucking when we talk about state capture. State capture in law is actually now being affirmed as the reality. It's no longer something that me and Mahlengi we theorize or we are throwing bones about it. It is confirmed through the Judicial Commission of Inquiry by Judge Zondo. And the battle cry now around state capture is that let those who have delayed progress and ravaged and undermined the efficient functioning of state entities face the music of the law. I mean, face the law in this particular instance, the might of the law. And that is what is important, and we are for that. And we ourselves are very much part of society and impatient with how things are happening, but we are confident with the work that we are doing to strengthen law enforcement and all of that, that indeed these people who are implicated in the fall of the state institutions and in particular state-owned entities will face the music. And some of them are before the law, are in court, and they've been arrested. Of course, some have been released, but NPA have told us that it's temporary and all of that. If somebody is implicated and is just released because the state, in terms of gathering information and evidence against those individuals, is weak, that then brings into question the capacity of our institutions. So all of those need to be addressed, to address the work that has been done by Judge Zondo through the State Capture Commission.
So after listening to Fikile Mbalula speaking about the state capture, and also thinking back that of lately we've seen Zondo come out of wherever he's been, talking about President Zuma and all of that.
The former president, Jacob Zuma, following his refusal to come to your commission, we know the steps that followed. We're not going to revisit that history, but here's the point, and that is that a court said that he had not served his 15-month prison sentence for defying a court order. And what happened when he needed to go back to jail? He was released on remission. My point is the former president still faces a number of charges. There are ongoing, or there is an ongoing case against him. People of South Africa might be questioning, is there a point in prosecuting former President Jacob Zuma if the government of the day, this is going to be the attitude toward jailing him? What do you think was the kind of message that was sent out by the government of President Ramaphosa taking that kind of action?
Well, one, I won't speak a lot about it because I understand that there is litigation, but this I can say, that anyone who kept themselves informed about what people were saying at the time when this remission happened and he was released would simply know that there were a lot of people who were saying, well, if the government doesn't want him to serve sentence in jail, so what is this corruption trial all about that has been going on for so long? Because it means that even if he were to be found guilty, and of course at this stage we don't know if he will be found guilty, even if he were to be found guilty, if a judge sentences him to jail, it means that something will be done to make sure he doesn't stay in jail. That is what people were asking that I am aware of. People are very concerned about that.
So is there a point, therefore, Chief Justice? I know you are in an invidious position, but is there a point in prosecuting the former president?
Well, I would say as long as the National Prosecuting Authority says it's got enough evidence to justify prosecuting him, he must be prosecuted. If the executive takes steps to spend time in jail, let the country know that the NPA and the courts will have done their part, and let the executive deal with the public at that time. So I would not say that any trials must stop. I think we must continue doing what we believe is right. The NPA believes there is a strong case against him. That's why they are pursuing the charges. The courts are there ready to conduct a fair trial and assess evidence. And if they find that he is guilty, they will look into what the appropriate sentence should be and impose a sentence that will fit the circumstances. And if the executive does anything after that, let the people know that the courts and the NPA have done their part.
Seen Zondo come out of wherever he's been, talking about President Zuma and all of that. I think to deal with President Zuma and the Mkhonto wesizwe situation, they are going to try and throw Jacob Zuma back into jail. You remember that Fikile Mbalula once told us that Jacob Zuma was going to be arrested or was going to be incarcerated in stages.
Former President Zuma's incarceration was going to happen in stages.
And now he's talking about it, but not precisely like that. But they are trying to revive the issue. I don't know. It remains to be seen. But I do think that that's how they're going to deal with the situation that doesn't want to go away. Remember that recently one journalist just called Jacob Zuma a pesky fly that doesn't want to go away. Thank you so much.
Judge Zondo of the state capture calls it Zuma Gupta thing.
When do you think the planning for the Gupta Zuma state capture starts? I don't think it started in 2010. I don't think it started in 2009. There is a good chance it started before the Polokwane conference. If you read some of the books on state capture in South Africa, you will know that the Guptas were in Polokwane, were at the conference or in the vicinity.
So there were some of the interesting comments in the thread, such as this one. When did it become the Zuma Gupta state capture? And this one says that Zondo is confirming that there was a predetermined agenda, as Zuma has always been saying. A lot of people were saying a lot of different things. It was very, very interesting. And yeah.